Hey guys, this is me coming with a $400 build log. For this build, we're using for a CPU. This is the $400 one. We're going to be using the E5 1620 V2. Now, this is the um, Ivy Bridge Xeon. The thing with the E5 1600 series is that they were direct rebrandings of the i7 3900 and 4900 series. The E5 1620 V2 is a direct copy of the i7 4820, and you can get these processors for like $42 with a just an X79 like generic motherboard. Now you won't be able to overclock these, but you could definitely turbo them. And with that, we're using a R9 390 as our build source. You can get R9 390s for now like $100 off eBay, just used. Um, we ended up getting with a 480 gigabyte SSD. I normally would go with a 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive, but as time went on, I eventually came to the realization that really, if you're like a PC gamer and you're primarily using Steam, most of the time I've never actually gotten up to like 1 terabyte in storage space unless you were making videos or like doing rendering and other things. If you're just gaming, I would advise just to get like a small SSD. You'll be happy with the faster speed, and if you're just done with the game, you can just uninstall it and install the new one. We're going to be using the Arctic Freezer 33 Sports Edition, the black and green version. The reason why we chose the black and green was it was the cheapest, but you're not going to be seeing too much of the black and green inside of the case. The RAM is $30. It's just you can get 16 gigabytes of 4x4 generic ECC, and on this motherboard you can actually OC that RAM to 1866. Since this motherboard actually already has the BIOS updated to support not only Sandy Bridge but also Ivy Bridge E5 Xeons and the i7s of the EPs i7s of Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge. We're using a Rosewell case for this. This case has a decent amount of cable management support. You can get it comes with a 80 mil case fan over here, but you can install a 120 over here, and it also has a SSD slot right there that you can put on. In the back, you do have some space for cable management. I wouldn't say like you probably couldn't route your 24 pin back here, but you definitely could route your smaller cables. You also have another SSD slot right there to put on. This case is only $22.99 to get. I would definitely recommend it. You got your basic I/O right there. I would definitely recommend it for lower price builds. I wouldn't go too far crazy into a case because you're just wasting the amount of money you could be putting towards parts that actually affect your game. For $30, you can get a Antec 650 watt continuous power supply. This gives you two 8-pin video card power cords, and a 8-pin floor plus 4-pin 12 volt for your CPU if you're using these like 120 TDP and up CPUs. But yeah, I really have never seen bad Antec power supplies in my life. Been using them for the past couple of years now. This one's an 80 plus certified bronze, and if what the info on it tells me, it's just a year old. And usually PSUs you can use for years to years before they eventually actually go bad. So that should definitely be just fine for the build. And on when you put all the parts together, you only get up to a 430 watt TDP. That's only the thermal range, but that is a rough range and how much power it will draw. I also put in a 120 millimeter fan for the front to be the front intake fan. You can this is still only less than $400, only $392.96. You could definitely add a better fan. You could change this up to take like a terabyte hard drive instead of an SSD. You could change this up more and more. You could definitely get what I sort of have if you're able to put another $40 into the CPU. You could definitely put a one of those E5 2690s. But I would definitely recommend a better cooler for that because this case does support, I think, 120 mil rad if you put it in the front. So I think like a Corsair H80i should be fine if you're looking for cooling that. But the Arctic Freezer 33 should be good for the 1620 V2. I haven't seen that one get too hot in the benchmarks I've seen. The 390, you could definitely, it's kind of an older GPU. The kind of benchmarks you'd be seeing, you get good performance on like medium range. Like you could do high 1080p or like mid 1440 with the 8 gigabytes. But this is definitely going to show its age in a couple years. So if you do have the money more, I would definitely get a better or a newer GPU like an RX 480 or something like that. I just got the 390 because right now you get better performance than a 470 or 570. It gets right up there with like a 584 gigabyte. But you have the 8 gigabytes there, so you can run 1440p if you want to. I think that's going to be all my build log, and I'll see you guys.